Hello, 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 and welcome back to episode number 2 with Tea with the Queens, where we transform, empower, and acquire the new skills that we have learned and gained. So today we're going to be meeting with CeeCee's Blessed Creations with Christina. So we're going to be talking about her businesses, and we're going to be talking about her being a serial entrepreneur. So she has a lot of things going on, a lot of great things going on in her community, and we're going to bring her up, and we're going to just chit chat about some things, and prayerfully, you will gain some insight on what it is that she does, and then she can encourage you on how to start your businesses and how to embrace having multiple streams of income. So we're going to bring on Miss Christina.
Hello, hello.
What's
How
going
are
on?
you?
Good, good. Glad to have you. Tea with the
Thank you
Queen.
for having me. Oh, gotta get my food.
So,
It's all hot.
so we just want to talk about, you and to celebrate you and what you've been doing in this community. We're from
Mhm,
the same community, if you don't know, from the Chicagoland area, Gary, Indiana area, Maryville, Hobart area.
mhm.
This is our home. This is where we
All
at.
of that. That's us. That's us.
So, but we want to just kind of, celebrate you and all that you've done. CeeCee's
Mhm.
Blessed Creations is all over. You see her all over social media. She's always involved in somebody's, events, and she's always representing her brand. So she is the epitome of serial entrepreneur. We have Beanie in this
Mhm.
area, but one thing I've noticed about you is that you're consistent and you constantly evolving and changing and adding to, but you're very consistent. And that's really what I looked at when I kind of first started my thing was, man, you know, I didn't even know you was doing some of these things, but the consistency and the creativity that you was bringing, ever changing. So that's the blessing, and it's something to celebrate. So what
Oh,
I'm going
bless
to do is I'm going to be quiet and I'm going to turn the floor over to you so that you can, let us know, who you are, what you've been doing in your business, and where you plan to go in your business.
Okay, well, let's go here. I'm a wife of 20 years. I'm a mother of four, grandmother of three, and I love my grandbabies. And I do a multitude of different things. I do gift baskets. I also do Scentsy, paparazzi, Avon. I'm what you would call a queen of all trades.
I
Okay.
right.
but my passion really is geared mostly to gift baskets because
Yes.
my creativeness comes out and it flourishes out. First of all, you got to be thankful to God because He's blessed us with that gift. Because
Right.
not everybody can just put together anything.
You're
It's
right.
got to come from above, and
Yes.
added with it coming from above, I have to take that leap of faith out. You know what I'm saying? And I would suggest anybody that if you're trying to do anything in life, whether it's formulating a business or getting ready to go back to school, even though you're up in age, or even writing a book, you got to take that leap out on faith and trust God and know that He got you.
You're right. You have to because, when I think about, the different, opportunities for business that we have,
Mhm.
a lot of times what I've noticed and speak to different, women, of course, about things is that it's always the age or it's always, feeling like their time has run out. If you're still living and you're still breathing, there's no
Yeah,
time that has been wasted and lost. So
yeah,
now
because
is
there's no time limit on that.
it's not. And it said now is the time. So, we have to be able to, just step out on faith and we just gotta do it. I was, one that,
Right, right.
I remember, I'll get this quick story. I remember when I wanted to go back to school. I was in the military, but I wanted to go back to college and get my degree. I remember I was young.
Uh-huh.
I probably was like 22, 23 years old. And at that age,
Hmm.
I felt old. because a lot of the students were coming in were in the, late teens or whatever. And I was like, you know what?
Right.
If I'm going to die, I'm going to die trying. And
Right.
this make a long story short, it went all the way. I mean, I was just constantly, I was becoming a serial, student, I guess you could say. But I
Right.
kept going,
Right.
kept
Right.
going, kept going. And it was like, before I knew it, it was like, man, I done done all this because I just
Mhm.
started. I don't know what possessed me to think that 22, 23 was old. But I always
Mhm.
said, you know what, if I die in this, and my life is just, over on this side,
Mhm.
but you won't say
Right.
I wasn't trying. So either I'm going
Right.
to conquer in the midst of trying. So there's never, a wrong time to do something. It's just wrong not to start. What you say?
Exactly, exactly, exactly. I've been doing this for like 10 plus years. And
Mm,
I've had my ups and I had my downs in it. I've had times where I was discouraged because some people just didn't want to purchase
yeah,
anything at that particular time from me. Or I just felt I felt real messed up about sometimes some certain baskets just didn't look good to me. But then
right,
at the end of the day, the ones that didn't look good to me, the people loved it. You
right.
understand what I'm saying? That's just like Johnny Gill. He wrote that song, what they call that, My. He did not
Yes.
like that song at all, but it's the number one hit, baby.
It's
So you
something.
just
That's the
never
thing.
know.
You just know. You just know.
Right,
Johnny
you
Gill.
just never know because God gives us a purpose here on this earth. We may or may not know what that purpose is, but as long as you're moving in the direction
Right.
that God sees fits for us to move, then there's nothing else that we can do that can fail. As long as you
Exactly.
put God first, that's the key.
And that's the strength and that's the foundation. Like you said before, it's not easy. And I'm not
Mhm.
going to be, I wouldn't be an empowerment coach or, an empowerment strategist and everything. I would not be those things if I sit here and say, hey, tomorrow it's going to be, $1 million, waiting for you. Now, I'm not saying he can't, but you want people
Right,
to be successful. So you want them to have the roots and the foundations they need in order to be successful. I'm not going to sit here and create this world for you to give you that hope
right,
of something. And if when it doesn't come to pass, now we're discouraged. No, we want to talk about how to sustain those
right.
businesses, how to
Right.
keep it.
And in order to doing so, you got to stay encouraged.
Hmm.
And in the midst of us being encouraged, we're being able to embody that and same encourage with other people because you
Right,
just never know who is in
right,
need of your services, your love, your that spirit that God instilled into you. That you never know who God gonna bring forth your way for you
yeah.
to be able to minister to them because it's a
Or
ministry.
it is, and and that's the thing, and that's what I really appreciate about what I'm doing because sometimes it seems like it falls on deaf ear. I don't. It doesn't matter. This is ministry, and I know
Yeah,
that who needs to hear and who needs to reach will. But I would firm on that, and I know that that's the testament that I have from my life because we've all been through some things. We've all been through
almost
heartache
definitely.
and things.
No,
But
definitely.
when your steps are ordered, you can go forward, and
Exactly.
that's exactly why you said blessed. Yeah, Saint Creations. That's what
Somebody asked me, uh-oh, sorry, my thing is falling. Sorry, sorry, I'm here.
you
Sorry,
good.
sorry. Make me
Take a sip of
boom.
tea, relax.
Don't be spill. Look, I can't spill my tea. Don't worry about it, y'all. Say, look, things happening, but you got to keep your own moving. But
That's exactly
somebody had asked me, yeah, somebody had asked me, well, where did you get that name from for your business? And I said, well, CeeCee, because my first and middle name starts and begins with the letter C, of course, obvious. And then blessed because I'm blessed to be able to create the gifts that God has
hmm
bestowed upon me to be able to make make do. So that's
right.
why I call it CeeCee's Blessed Creations. And then in the midst of me doing these different events that I've already, done myself um, in the community, I always like to give back. There's customers that will pop up and you can just tell, and you got to have a discernment. So you could just
Yeah.
tell that they just really want to get something from you, but they just don't have that much, or they don't have it at all. And then just God just gives it to me just to do that and give a blessing to you, because at the end of the day, I'm in the blessing business because God has
Exactly.
blessed me to be able
You
to
know what?
provide and be able to be in this kind of business.
And that's
So
what
honey, I'm good.
you don't really hear that a lot about, saying I'm in the blessing business because, you know, I believe that increase comes, from God, and He gives the increase according to His.
Mhm.
So being a blessing is
Definitely.
not, it's not a hindrance. It's really, saying a blessing to yourself, because it's a testament that someone desires what you have, that
Right.
probably can't get it right then and there, but they desire it just like someone who desires it but can pay for it. So
That's right.
like you say, if your steps are ordered and He gives the increase, you ain't got nothing to
Exactly.
worry about. That's why someone asks me for something and I'm able to pour into them. I'm not sitting here and say, well, you got to pay me for my coaching services. If it's something that I can do, of course, I have
Yeah.
that. But if it's something that's that's gonna really get them over the hump, I'm gonna help you. But if it's
Exactly,
something,
because you just
you
never
know,
know who God is
right,
bringing your way. And if you sit there and you don't know that God brought somebody your way to for you to be able to be a testament to them and minister to them and let them know the good news of what how God is and what God has done in your life, and then you turn them away, shame on you. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So I mean,
That's where the discernment come in, and that's when you know. And
right, right.
that's a whole nother part of business because of the way that we operate, and it's so, of course you got people that, I mean, it's for profit, for profit, for profit. You have
Yes.
some non for profit, but us, we're, those solopreneurs, we're the ones that say, hey, this is ministry. I'm going to reap
Mhm.
the harvest, but I'm also going to be attentive to what God has me to do. So,
Exactly. So like when I
okay,
what I do in my business, when I get the fundings, when people purchase things from me, I always give my 10% back and then some.
yeah.
And then added, of course, you be able to, I'm able to utilize it to pay bills or what have you, or at least my half, because it's me and my boo. And then I'm still
Thank
able
God
to
for
have
you.
in my pocket and be able to do more inventory. You know what I'm saying? Because of the steps,
Because yeah,
that I took and
that
take in within this business.
he's growing. So I want to ask you a question though, because when you were telling me about all the different products that you have, how
Hmm.
what drew you to doing paparazzi and then to do Avon and to do CeeCee? What I mean, because that's a lot at one time. But how did you even think that you were going to tie that in? What was your thought
I
process? I want.
look, I'm telling you, okay. Well, first it started out with paparazzi. My
Okay.
cousin, God bless her, she is so sweet. She was doing it, and I was like, girl, because she knew I love me some bling all day long. I don't care if it's cheap, like $5 or whatever. I love me some bling, baby. But she was like, you could do it too. I said, girl, ain't nobody gonna buy no bling for me, because in my head I'm thinking it. There ain't nobody gonna buy nothing for me. But then I hear out my mouth, which we have what power. I didn't
Yeah.
already cancel myself out.
Exactly.
So I just was like done with it. And then all of a sudden, um, I just said, you know what, I'm gonna take a leap out on faith. And I did it. And a couple of people bought some things in the beginning. Long story short, fast forwarding, I'm splurging more into it and I'm enjoying it. Not only because I get the benefit of getting some bling for myself, and then I'm watching these people's faces when they receive what they're receiving from me, even though it's just paparazzi. But they put it on and they take the picture and they come and send it to me. Girl, look how I look. And that brings me joy
Yeah.
for seeing that. So it's like, okay, and then I'm looking at other different things and I'm like, wow. And it's just, hey, if you can do that, then you can do this. And if
Hmm.
you can do this and that, then you can do that, this,
Yeah.
and all the above. So I just minimize and you know, my the way that I do shift and do one thing after another. And then I also mix in and put some of those in and incorporate all the businesses that I have into a basket. You feel me? So
You
somebody's
know,
not only getting a piece of the gift basket from me, they're getting a piece of paparazzi, they're getting a
yeah.
piece of CeeCee, they're getting a piece of Avon, but mostly they're getting a piece of my love.
But you know what I thought about too, and that what you was talking about, how you pull them all together. That's a prime
Mhm.
example of a brand, because with
Yes.
a brand, you can have the umbrella. You know, your brand you know, the basis of your brand is the umbrella, and all the different
Hmm.
services and things that you provide goes under there. But your brand is still
Exactly.
represented, but you have different services. Just like me, I'm a speaker, I'm an author,
Hmm.
I'm a coach. You know what I'm saying? I have a
Right.
podcast. You know, it's the other. I got retail. You know, that represents
Hmm.
the books and things. I have retail that goes with those things and kind of talk about, you know, what those things mean. But you're wearing it, you're drinking out of it, you're doing
Right.
certain
Right. You incorporating it all in one.
things. When you think about who Millicent is, then you're going to
Hmm.
also be like, man, you know, she has this, she has this, she has that. But it's all, if I do it right, it's all represented in the brand. So building a brand is very important,
Hmm.
because you want people to not be confused. You don't want people to say, "Oh, she
Right.
sell this or she sell that." I didn't know, but now you say under CeeCee's Blessed Creations, everything kind of ties in, and you like, okay, all of this kind of works together. So we know, and
Correct.
your
And
brain,
then when you say confusing, this is the thing. What I have to explain to people. Let me take my sip. Hold on. That's some good thing. Here's the thing that most people don't understand, because I've had someone tell me, "Ooh, you a hustler," and I said, "Mm-mm." There's a difference between the two. And a hustler is somebody that's out to gank all your money by any means necessary. Ain't no God into it. They just trying to get what they need to get and go ahead and get on about their life. But an entrepreneur is somebody that's trying to elevate and build
yes,
not only their own brand, but they're trying to build in the community. They want to make sure that you really enjoy what you have purchased from that individual. They want to make sure it brought you joy, because at the end of the day, it brought me, the person that's creating it, it brings me joy. And sometimes, half of the time, I'll get people that come up to me and they'll say, "Girl," I'll look at them like in the streets and I'll be like, "Oh, that's a cute hat. Oh, that's a cute this and that." And then they'll look at me and say, "It was out of your basket." I don't remember. Because at the end of the day, I pray over each and every inventory that I got. I pray over each basket, each jewelry, each whatever anybody orders, because I want to make sure that God understands and knows that you are number one. I couldn't do any of this if it wasn't for you.
yeah,
I couldn't do any of this if it wasn't for you. My family being my supporters and always having that my back, but you got to have your supporters in this for the good, bad, and the ugly in this business. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? But at the end of the day, God sustains it all, and you got to be humble.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You might get somebody that got stank attitude. This did that. I want my money back. Okay, we're not doing that, but okay. God
Right.
bless you. I'll tell you what, I'll do this at X, Y, and Z, and you got it. And then it just calms the situation down. I don't have no errors, no room for no foolishness or anything of that nature, because God is in my life and He's my number one.
But see, and
So
that's
I'm
a
telling
way
you.
for someone that's, you know, starting, you know, their business, their brand, to get discouraged, because everybody's not going to like you. Everybody's not going to want to, you know, be a part of what you're doing. Everybody's not going to embrace you. That's
Exactly.
the hard part. But and it can be lonely at times. You'd be like, well, dang, you know, where's everybody at? You know, people that's supposed to
Mhm,
be in your corner and whatever the case may
mhm.
be. You gotta keep going, because because the reward is so great. You know,
It
it's so
is. It is.
and
It
you
is.
know it's amazing to, like you say, to really find a way to bring your desires alive and to be a blessing, you know, to others. And you know, it's just, you know, real quick, what is it that you I don't want to say what is it, but where do you see yourself with your brand, you know, in the next, I would say the next 12 months. I mean, we talking about now. We talking about 10 years from now.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to have a building, baby.
Okay.
Because right now I do it out of my house. I have a little office. My honey bunny set it up for me, and the kids. They all set it up all cutesy doocy for me, and it's getting a little bit over the top.
Proud of
So my sole goal is to, because that's why, and then you got to be able to save in this business. You got to have your fundings for this or that, your house,
her.
your household, you know what I'm saying, your inventory, but also take away just a little bit on the side, because that's what you're going to need to help build the next level, because it's,
Yes.
it's different levels in this. And my next
Agreed.
level, yeah, and my next level is to have a building.
Yes.
And when I had that building, baby, it's gonna be full of nothing but God's good blessings, of baskets and whatever else. And then I'm gonna also bring in others that want to start something, and they got something a gift that God have bestowed upon them, and they need help. And I just want to be able to have that door that door that can open and say yes. I
You
don't
know
want
what?
to be that.
You
Go ahead.
know what? And I don't want to say. Well, I will say in this area, I would like to see more collaboration. I would like to see, us, come together, because we have a lot of things that's similar but different styles. We have a lot of,
Mhm.
things that, are kind of, individualized to that person that's, um, selling or embracing that business. It's like, man, can we collaborate? Can we come together, and just kind of build together? It can be a blessing, as far as creativity, it can be a blessing financially, a whole
Exactly.
lot of different things. I would like to see that more. You know, I'm not saying that you can't, I mean, that's the competition out here, that's a whole lot, but I would like to see
When that kind of
celebration.
stuff happens, yeah, I totally agree. When that kind of stuff happens, and I've been to a couple of events, certain people would lure other people to their table and away from mine, and I smile it off, because the devil is real, but God is greater,
But you know
and
what?
He
It's so
always gives us the victory in the end. Because you'll get, and then sometimes just certain people, they don't want to, oh, I don't want to do that, I don't want to, you know what I'm saying.
right.
It's okay, it's okay, because just like when one door opens, the other one, when the one door closes, the other one opens. That falls suit in that same pattern.
And we have to
When somebody,
so
go
we have to
ahead.
also trust. We also have to trust the consumer. The consumer has the desire of what they want and what they don't want. Allow them to choose,
And
because like you said, everybody's not going to want what you have. But
no,
when you have the fairs and you have the uh, events, and you have the what is it, not the fairs, but the, what you call them when they
well,
come
they
together.
do different events in the community. Like in Highland, they have what they call this crafting events, and just different events that they have in the yeah, and they have
That's
some and Calumet. I mean, it's just all over, and I just try to get up on any and all of them. Valparaiso.
this, that I enjoy going to them because I like to browse and I like to go to different. I'll be like, okay, well, there's something over here. I will browse all around and have places where I would literally go back to and get what I was looking for. I said, well, I'm probably gonna come back and get that. I'm gonna come back and get that from this table. But I like to browse.
Mhm.
I didn't, and honestly, when I would go, I never felt the pull from others, like, come over here, come over here. I know it happens, but I never felt, pressured. But I
Right.
always felt like if I'm at that particular place, that I'm going to get that attention, and and everything. So that's why I enjoy going to the craft shows and to the fairs and to the conventions and things like that. I love it.
Shoot, I'll go live, and I'll tell about my business, their business, whatever they're doing, and anybody that is on my live, if you're needing this or that or X, Y, and Z, and not my stuff, I don't mind it, because at the end of the day, I'm happy for that other person over there that's selling purses. Even though I'm not selling purses, I'm happy for them. And the joy that they get from, the people that are coming to the, oh wow, yeah, she got some sales, and I could just be sitting here not getting no sales at that particular time. But at the end of the day, I'm going to still rejoice in their happiness, because I'm
When you
still here.
have to
I'm
come,
still breathing. I still got a company that, hey, God is good. And then turn around, I start getting sales. People start coming to my table. But when you're hating on people, that ain't good. You
It's
know
not.
what I'm saying? You don't
So
get far. You don't get far.
you don't. So okay, I just gotta ask. What do you plan on bringing on to your, bringing under the umbrella of, CeeCee's Blessed Creations? What's the next business? I know it's coming.
um, I'm going to take a page out of your book and I'm going to write a book. So I can't get into too much of it because
Look,
but
all right,
you've inspired me.
okay.
And I like to, like I said, I like to put certain stuff in my baskets, inspirational books,
Mhm.
from other authors, yourself, hint, hint, um, journals and things like that, because you just never know what somebody else is needing at that present moment in time. Yeah, the gifts are nice, the jewelry or whatever, the Victoria's Secrets, whatever's all in there, the perfumes. But they might just need that one thing that's right behind that blanket or that bathrobe, and they might need that book because it's
Exactly.
going to help elevate them on top of all the other goodies that they had in that basket. And I
It's
leave people's and I leave people's card in there. And somebody said, "Why you putting somebody else's card in your stuff?" I said, "So they can be blessed too."
exactly. And and that's why you sometimes it's nothing wrong with giving someone a platform. It's not
It
gonna take
sure
anything
is.
away from you. What God has for you is for you. I'm not about to
Exactly.
compete. Because I know what I have now. If I end up being a multimillionaire, which I'm claiming,
You
hey,
are in
if
Jesus' name.
I,
It's
if I
already
be a
done.
thousand,
Okay.
that was in the cards for me. But regardless of the fact, I'm gonna be blessed. So I get
Amen.
what advice would you give someone? Let me put this the right way. Not necessarily how they would go about doing it, but what advice would you give them? Someone who's thinking about, even going in the same direction that you're going into, how to juggle so many, different things at the same time, and to, keep it balanced as
To keep
much
it
as you
balanced.
possibly can. You know what I mean? Like
Um,
I know that it's going, it's something that's going to outweigh the other, which is normal. But how do you?
mhm.
What advice would you give someone in order to feel not to become overwhelmed, but to feel like, that what I'm saying. I'm trying to find a
Mhm.
way to say. I'm not a
It's
spirit.
it's a because it sounds like so much,
Yeah.
but in all reality, some of the things that I do pays for itself, and I don't have to go and do so much with it because it's online. People can get them online. You promote yourself, which is your businesses, and then with the other one that that's more effective more than the others, you don't have to worry about it. I just would say to just breathe and
Mhm.
it'll be okay. But also know that you can go back and check in on it here and
Yeah.
there and then go back to doing what was mostly, there because you'll get somebody that maybe wants to get a basket, and I might get a person like they'll call me out the blue. Oh, I need 2 baskets in about an hour, and I'm like, an hour? Okay, give me at least an hour, hour and a half, and that way I can juggle that, and then I'm already in the midst of doing an Avon order. But when I tell this client to wait to be patient just a minute, let me get back to you, and then such and such X amount of time, they'll be okay with it because they want it, and then
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and put that aside and finish out what I was doing. So it's like basically you gotta take your time and balance it out. And then once you take your time with that and balance it out, it'll work itself on out. Like for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? You can't bombard yourself with, oh my God, I got to do this with the Avon. I got to do, oh, okay, what you want to order? You can't do that because
Right.
then you will be overwhelmed. And it's
Right.
okay to take a break too. You could take
Yeah.
a break from doing Avon, take a break from doing the paparazzi, and then I'm just right here on CeeCee. I could take a break from CeeCee and do, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not no big major time on that. You know what I'm saying? Because it pays for itself. Get
Right.
in a business that can pay for itself, and you'll be able to do the other businesses that you really gotta do your footwork on. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? So that's what makes it easier for me to be able to do all of what I do and then
So
some.
so with that, I want to, encourage someone as well that if they're not particularly doing exactly, what you do in the same realm,
Right.
whatever business that they're doing and whatever businesses that they are adopting,
Mhm.
along with their, main businesses, and they're bringing other things in. Just
Mhm.
remember, and this is just, for me, giving advice, at some point you're going to have to nurture each one. Maybe not at the
Mhm.
same time, but you're going to have to nurture each one eventually. So always,
Exactly.
like you say, monitor. This one over here may be a little stronger at this time, so I have to do as much, but always monitor it, because once it kind of, falls a little bit, you want to make sure that you
Exactly.
go in and nurture it a little bit more to bring it back up. So it's not easy to have, several businesses, and the blessing for you is that they're similar. But you have some
Mhm.
that, some of the businesses have nothing to do with each other, and then some have businesses and they have not for profits. But whatever it is, don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid
Right.
not to expand, and not don't be afraid not to go for it. Do it.
Exactly.
And, and,
Exactly.
and if
Exactly.
you feel overwhelmed, then reevaluate what it is that you're doing and see, what's important as far as, my brand, what can I, keep, what needs to go. That's all about
Mhm.
growing. It's all about, filtering, because sometimes you may say, hey, I've done enough of, of this over here. So it was good
Mhm.
to me, but I'm going to go and, just kind of retire that right now. And then you may pick up something else. Don't be afraid of that. But being an entrepreneur is not a one-stop shop. And the reason why I want to do this is because when I say serial entrepreneur, wanted,
Mhm.
to explain that seven streams of income is kind of what leads to, the multimillionaire status. And then that's not a catch-all, because, getting to
Mhm.
want to be financially is not one blueprint. But I
Right.
have seen in research that, when you create seven streams of income, and really, just be attentive to it, you never know. And what I mean by seven streams, it doesn't necessarily have to all be, you know, in, the beauty industry doesn't all have to be, in the baskets and, the
Right.
candles, things like that. And
Right.
it always have to be, in one area. So you can have, like I
Right.
said, clothing line with the t-shirts and the mugs and the cups,
Mhm.
paper stands and things like that. You can have your books.
Right. Right. And then you also got to know how how to separate your financings in
Right,
each one of those different businesses
right.
that you have,
So you can see
because you're
what's
gonna get
working.
something from that business, that one business, you're gonna get something from that t-shirt business, you're gonna get something from the book business, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
that way
then you
you
have
can
to be able, right, you
and
have to be able to
okay.
save and save, put it in the bank to save, or however the people, however people do. Some people don't do banks and they just do their pocket.
But
But you
then
just
you
have
want to
to
be able to
learn how to.
invest in that particular thing. If I make, sales, on my books, then I may take a certain amount to put to the side so that I can work on other things with concerning
Right.
my books and things like that. Or when I'm, working on, my speaking engagements, that may be, let me monitor what I'm making from that. If someone offers me a love token just for coming, I hate to say getting
Right.
paid for it, but a love
Right.
token or something. So I want to be able to say, hey, my speaking and, is really, flourishing, and, I'm seeing the fruits of that. So
Mhm.
I know that we can't sum up everything, in one, one session, and one,
Mhm.
one set of
I get
interactions,
it.
to
Right.
talk. But it's so interesting. But I wanted to bring you on because I know that you have the multiple ones, and a lot of people, like I said, in our community, have more than one. If I can mention some, I know that there's Mary Kay out there. I know that there's Paparazzi, there's CeeCee, there's Avon. Um,
I did
some
Mary Kay before.
see, and some of them are in the health, the wellness, health and wellness. They may
Yeah.
sell. with supplements and, different things like that. But whatever it is that you do, make sure that you're nurturing it and you're
Hmm.
monitoring what you're doing and you're making sure that it's benefiting you. So if you do
Yeah.
something after a while, you feel like, okay, it's really not benefiting, make a decision, go to something
Right.
else. But always remember that being a serial entrepreneur is basically what you got to do. It ain't nothing wrong with
It
that.
ain't,
Also,
but
it's
you
the
know
one
what?
thing
It
that
ain't
you
easy. It ain't
yeah.
easy, but it ain't hard either.
Exactly. So you gotta just do what you gotta do. And like I said, do not be afraid to step out and try things. And like I said,
Yeah.
some things you're gonna try and you're gonna say, okay, this worked. There's some things you're gonna be like, okay, what was I thinking? And nothing wrong with that. But embrace all opportunities that you have the strength and the desire for. So
Amen.
with that being said, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for coming on and just sharing a little bit about what it is and what it means to, have multiple businesses under your brand and what it's like, the blessings that you get from it and the blessings that you give to others with it, how you incorporate your different,
Mhm.
items and stuff into, the thing that's bringing you the most. That's a brilliant idea. The one thing that's bringing you the most, fuel is the baskets and how
Mhm.
you do other things to complement. Like I said, everybody's situation may not be, so tight like that, but you
Right.
those who's thinking about it, take the blueprint,
Mhm.
hey, make that stuff work for you. So, but I
Yeah.
want to thank you, thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you for having me. I'm so honored and I'm so proud of you for all God is doing in your life. And may He continues to bless you and keep you in good health and wealth and all of the above that He can
Thank
do
you
for you.
too. And
God is so good. Thank you.
yeah, same to you. And thank you for encouraging me today as well. So I just, I just pray that anyone that tunes in and take the time to listen will really grab a hold to the things that we're saying. We want to empower. We
Yeah.
want to, we really want to, empower and to, pour into. So, with that being
Yeah.
said, I pray that that has happened today. So, but
Yes.
thank
And you guys
you.
walk in your calling. Walk in your calling. God, walk in that gift.
Before I forget, can you, let everyone know where they can find you, as far
Oh,
as
yeah, because I'm still working on that website. You can find me on Facebook. It's under CC. I mean, excuse me. It's under Christina Willis. Christina Chrissy Willis. Chrissy as in CHRISSY Willis, like what you talking about, Willis. And then also, I gotta say it. And then also, you can email me at CC's Blessed Creations at gmail.com and I take orders there as well. Or you can reach me by phone, and I have no problem giving it out. 219-310-5768. And remember to walk in your calling because God got your back.
exactly. All right, then, girl. Well, thank you
Thank
all for tuning
you.
in, and I pray that you got something from it because I know I did. So I'm
Yeah,
excited, and
I'm always gonna get something from you, boo.
I'm growing, y'all. So y'all know I'm growing, and I ain't afraid to say it. I'm growing. I'm learning. But I am going to do this, and I am going to, succeed in what it is I'm trying to do. And I am trying to be a serial entrepreneur. Hello.
Hello. You got this, girl. I
Well, okay then.
got you.
I see you
Thank
next time,
you.
girl. Go out
All
there.
right. Y'all
Rock
get her books.
it. Okay. See ya.
Bye.